This video is brought to you by Sailrite. Visit Sailrite.com for all your project supplies, tools, and instructions.
Okay, what we're demonstrating today is the Sailrite Canvas Patterning Ruler. This actually has a number of uses. It can be used to make circles, or one of the other main uses is when you're folding fabric or when you're trying to cut strips of fabric, adjust a pattern to extend it or whatnot is when it's used.
This video will demonstrate in detail a few of the most popular tasks that make this ruler one of the most useful tools when it comes to canvas work. Let's show you how it works by first demonstrating making a double hem. As you can see, the end of the ruler has a metal edge that rides up against the fabric's edge, creating a uniform line at the desired distance from the edge of the fabric.
We're going to use our canvas patterning ruler today to do a double hem. Now, what we want is a 1/2 inch double hem. So we're actually going to first scribe 2 lines. If you are new at this, a line is easier to follow. So we're going to start by scribing our 1 inch line, because remember we're doing a 1/2 inch hem. And then in addition to that, we're going to go ahead and we're going to scribe a 1.5 inch line, because that'll be the end of our hem.
The holes on the ruler are labeled with the distance from the lipped metal edge, so all you have to do is insert your marking pencil in the hole and go.
Now what I'll do is apply basting tape and then we'll go ahead and put another row here. Now first we're going to expose our first row of basting tape. And what we're going to do is we're going to fold to that first line. Okay, now we'll take our ruler and we'll take the rounded end here and we'll use that to smooth out our crease. And that gives us a nice hard edge. Also helps to get our basting tape good and stuck down. And then we'll take and fold this into the second line. We want to use that second line as our guide. That helps to make sure that we're maintaining our distance. And once again, we'll take the rounded end of our ruler and use it to make a nice tight crease.
Up next, we'll use the Sailrite Canvas Patterning Ruler to make circles.
Okay, we're going to use our canvas patterning ruler to scribe a circle onto material. So what we'll do is we'll put it on the material. Obviously you would have found your center point where you wanted your circle. We'll just pretend it happens to be right there. So we insert our awl through the point. If you're on a sacrificial table, you could pound that in to hold it. We're on our Formica top, so we're not going to do that. We want to draw a 5-inch circle. So what we'll do is divide that in half, which is 2.5. So we'll find our 2.5 inch hole. We'll insert our pencil into the hole. And what we'll do is we'll basically just go in a circle all the way around. Voila.
Enclosure curtains often require facing strips. The Sailrite Patterning Ruler makes this job much easier.
Okay, when you're doing an enclosure panel, oftentimes you'll be making a facing. That facing, what you're basically doing is you're going to make a strip of fabric that follows the edge. So here we've got a curved edge, so if we just cut a 3-inch wide strip, really wouldn't do us a whole lot of good. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by tracing our panel. And then we'll take and cut out our material. And you can use a hot knife for this. We're not using a hot knife in this particular demonstration. So what we're going to do is take our ruler and we're going to line it up the edge. Now it has a metal band there that you can see basically catches the edge of the fabric. And to make a 3-inch facing, what we want to do is we want a 3.5 inch strip. So we're going to put our soapstone pencil in that portion right there. We're going to carefully draw our line. I'm using the metal edge to guide the ruler and follow the contour, all the while holding my pencil in the hole. And I just follow this all the way down to the edge, trying to maintain the curve. I want to try to keep my line perpendicular. And here I just have to kind of, since I've come off the edge, we just mimic that. So now we'll take our facing and cut that out.
This facing's for the outside of the curtain panel.
Okay, we've already cut our outside facing. Now what we need to do is we need to cut our inside facing. Now when we cut our inside facing, we need to take heed as to which side's which. Now we're gonna, for this exercise, this is the outside, so this is the surface we would want to face towards the window. So once again, we're just gonna scribe our line and cut on our line. Now we've cut out our outside edge, and remember our goal here is a 3-inch facing. So what we're going to do is we're going to line the ruler up, and we're going to choose the 3 hole, or for 3 inches. And once again, we just use the ruler to follow the edge and scribe our line.
The first facing strip was cut 3.5 inches. It was a Sunbrella marine grade fabric. The extra ½ inch will be used for a hem. Here, this is a vinyl fabric called Sailrite. It does not need a hem. So it is cut to 3 inches. You will see a little later on why it does not need a hem.
Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to apply basting tape along each edge of first our inner facing. Keep it inside from your edge just a little bit because you don't want it peeking out. What it'll do is it'll be kind of a dirt attractant. I find it easiest to pull off just one side and apply it to our glass right at the edge. Okay, then once we've done that, we can pull it off and stick it down. As you can see, the result is we've basically traced out a pattern that matches. Now on this side, we're going to apply our seam stick to the vinyl instead of the Sunbrella. We start by taking off our outside tape, baste down our Sunbrella, and then what we do is from there we pull off our inside tape. Now what we'll do is we'll turn this under, and our goal here is to fold this under just to where it just perfectly meets that inner facing. That way when you're on the outside, you're only seeing the outer facing, and when you're on the inside, you'll only see the inner facing. A curve much tighter than this, you would need to cut reliefs, and a relief would be done basically by just taking and cutting a few small slits along this edge, and that'll help things to take the curve a little better. Now once we've done that, we come back to our patterning ruler, and we have a nice rounded metal edge there. What that allows us to do is take that ruler and make a nice solid crease here. And that helps it also to stick to the basting tape a little better. And then we would take that to our machine, we'd lay a stitch right here, and we would actually have the other facings on too. We'd lay a stitch right here to hold the inside, then we would bind the outside edge using typically a 1-inch binder.
Here's a view of the binding sewn on. Use this ruler for adding seam allowance. That's next.
Okay, what we're going to demonstrate now is, let's say you have patterned something and you need to add for your seam allowance. So we would trace our line around the edge. Some people like to add to their pattern, then cut it out. I typically cut it out, then add. Now, let's say that we need to add a 1/2-inch seam allowance. What we would do now is we would take and line up our ruler so that the line that we're in is following this edge and also in that hole. And so if we're doing a 1/2 inch, we would insert our pencil through the 1/2 inch mark, and then carefully draw the ruler along, trying to maintain our line in that edge, as well as keep ourselves equidistant here so that we know we're as perpendicular to our line as possible. And now once we cut this out, now what we've done is we've created a panel that is a 1/2 inch larger than our pattern.
As you can see, the Sailrite Canvas Patterning Ruler works great for a number of tasks. Order yours today from Sailrite.